You can't feel your way into a certain way of acting. This is message 495 in day 10 in the Serene 15 Challenge, and this message is dedicated to Marsha Linehan. Marsha is a therapist, and she wrote a book called Building a Life Worth Living. She has an amazing story of living in a mental institution for 2 years as a young woman and vowing if she ever got out that she would help others. She did, and she has. She's trained over 10,000 therapists. One of her principles is that people can act their way into a certain way of feeling, but can't feel their way into a certain way of acting. We've been talking about thinking a lot the last couple weeks, so let's talk about doing this morning. While thinking is the father of all creation, let's remember that action changes things. Action changes attitudes. Motion changes emotions. Motion changes moods. This isn't rocket science, but how often do you think or say, I don't feel motivated to do? You fill in the blank. Motivation is a myth. You have the power to choose even in opposition to how you feel. The more important consideration is the type of person you want to be. Decide on your who and live into that. Let your identity drive your behavior and drive your feelings. Is the feeling fear? You can be a worrywart, but you need to take action to face your fears. So often, the only way to the other side is through. We have to act differently than we feel. You do this almost every morning. You probably sleep in a nice, warm, cozy bed. If you wake up to an alarm, I hope you don't, but that's for another conversation. You may not feel like getting out of that nice, warm, cozy bed. Like never. But you know, if you don't take opposite action on those cozy feelings, then bad things are bound to happen. It will go something like this. You'll be late to wherever you need to be that day. If you have a job and you're late too many times, you may not have a job. Eventually, you won't be able to pay your rent or mortgage and property taxes. Your landlord, the bank, or the sheriff will kick you out of your apartment or house. At some point, your cozy bed will not have a home and will cease being so cozy. So even though you don't feel like it, you act against those feelings. If you want the best life, the kind of life that does good things, you will have to act against what you are feeling. You will have to do this often, all the time. You will do the hard thing when you feel like doing the easy thing. You will have a difficult conversation when you feel like avoiding it. You will make the long-term decision when you feel like doing the short term. You do the second mile when you feel like stopping after the first. You do the right thing when you feel like doing the wrong. You get the picture. You don't let weak and wavering feelings decide how you're going to act. You do, then you feel.